Hello everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Donna. Today we're going to be making a blueberry cream cheese pound cake. How's that sound? But anyway, it's really delicious and I wanted to jump on right quick and share it with you guys. So here I have 1 cup of sweet cream butter, real butter, because it's pound cake. You don't want none of that other stuff, guys. No margarine, real sweet cream butter. That's 1 cup, which is 2 sticks. And what I did was cream that for probably a minute or two until it's turned really pale looking. And then to that, I'm going to add my sugar. Okay, which is, I have here 1 cup and 2 tablespoons of regular granulated sugar. Boy, I'm all tongue-tied today, I swear. But what I'm going to do with this is cream it 3 to 4 minutes. Now you can use your beater or you can do this by hand, whatever you prefer. I'm doing it by hand the old-fashioned way, so let me get this whipped up a good 3 to 4 minutes. Alrighty, now you can see there, it's nice and light and fluffy after beating that a good 4 minutes. Alright, okay, now over here I have mixed 2 cups of your cake flour. Now, if you don't have any cake flour, to each cup, you just use 1 cup of your regular flour and then just take out 2 tablespoons and add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So that'll be a 1/4 cup altogether because you're using 2 cups of all-purpose flour if you don't have any pastry flour. So you'll be using a 1/4 cup of cornstarch and 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour to substitute your pastry flour if you don't have any cake flour. But I have cake flour today, so. And into that, I'm gonna add in a 1/2 teaspoon of good old table salt. And that's it for that. Okay, now I'm gonna add in, or I'm not gonna add in anything right now, but to this I'm going to, my eggs. We have 3 whole eggs, and which are large, 3 whole large eggs, and 2 egg yolks. Okay, so we're gonna whisk in, get my whisk. We're gonna whisk in 1 at a time. Try to drop 1 in at a time. Like I said, I have 3 large and 2 yolks. So there's 1, but I'm gonna go ahead and do these all 1 by 1, getting each one mixed in really well. Well, maybe 15-20 seconds each one. Just so you don't see it hardly anymore. Get it mixed in good, but I'll keep adding these in. All right, got those all mixed in. Now to that, I'm gonna add in my 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1 and 2. That's 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. All right. Now I'm going to be adding in here 1.5 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice. That's 1.5 tablespoons. The zest of 1 large lemon. Mix that in there. Lemon and blueberry just go. They do their thing together. All right, get that stirred up good. Now, over here, I have 1 1/4 cups of frozen blueberries. I have a coffee filter, like 3 or 4 of them there, because I do want them to defrost. I don't want them wet. I don't want any more moisture in that pound cake than I don't need. So I tossed that 1 1/4 cups of defrosted blueberries with 1 tablespoon of flour. That helps prevent them from sinking to the bottom of the pound cake as it's baking. Okay, and here I have, you can do 1/3 to 1/4 cups of blueberry topping or filling, which is this here. And the rest of it you can use for whatever you'd like, you know, make yourself a cheesecake. Good idea there on the front. Pancakes or ice cream topping, whatever you want with it. This just adds some more moisture and good flavor to that pound cake. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is add my flour to my wet. I'm just gonna dump it all in there. Now do make sure you properly measure your flour, because that's where a lot of people go wrong. They tend to pack their cups, and that's a no-no, because you're getting more in there than you need. Fluff up that flour and scoop it into your cup by spoon, and then level it with a knife on top or your fingers lightly. That way you get accurate measurements for your cake. Because if you overpack, you're going to get a tough pound cake, dry. And what I'm doing here is just basically, well, gently stir it in. You don't want to start beating it to death, because that will also leave you with a tough pound cake. So just kind of gently stir that in. And get your oven preheated to 325. I always forget. That should be the first thing I mention to you guys, huh? Get the oven preheated, but thankfully 325 don't take that long to preheat. Okay, so we've got this mixed in there. There's that. Now, what I like to do, I got me a 9x5. Okay, I have me a 9x5 oiled pan. I always use my mama's old one. It's nonstick and it's old, but it works good. It works good for me. Mama's old one. And I'm going to continue using it till I can't use it anymore. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is line the bottom with half the filling and get it spread out. I don't want to fold the berries in here because they are defrosted. And I like to make sure everything's even. So I'm just going to get this here even on the bottom. And I'm going to drizzle half this in and half this in. All right, I got that in there, half of it. Now, I'm going to take some of my blueberry topping and just dollop some of it like so. Now I'm just going to swirl this. Just swirl it around till it looks like it's evenly distributed throughout here. And then I'm going to drop some blueberries on top of that. And then that little blueberry topping, that stuff in the can there, it's full of beautiful little blueberries. Now I'll drop some of these on there, half of them. Just drop them on there. And what I'm gonna do is put the rest of my pound cake batter on top of this and repeat. Come on. See, they're real sticky right now, these blueberries, because of that flour, and they're defrosted. This is delicious with a nice cup of coffee in the morning. Yes, indeed it is. All right. Okay. Gonna put the rest of it. Be gentle with this top coat here when you start spreading this out. you don't really want to spread too much. Well, you need to spread it, but just be gentle with it. Okay, I'm going to scrape my bowl out here. All right, let's start on the next layer. I got that one. The rest of the cake batter on top there. So let's go ahead and put the rest of the blueberry topping. Yummy. Okay. Let's give it a swirl. Make sure we're going to get some of that in each bite. I used a pretty good size, 1/3 of a cup. And that should just about do it. Now what I'm gonna do is put the rest of the blueberries. Get them spread out there. And once I get these all in there, I'm just gonna gently press, because we're gonna put our cheese topping. This is good stuff right here. All right. More. I sure hope you guys give this a try and let me know what you think. All right. Let's kind of gently press with clean hands. And I meant to bring up earlier, you guys, please be sure all of your ingredients are at room temperature. It does make a difference. Your eggs, your sugar. Yeah, smart, Donna, your sugar, all right. Your cheese. Every time I put a spoon, I'd swear that thing runs off on me. Now, over here, look at that, it looks good already. Over here, in the bowl, I have an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese, room temperature, that way it beats up really well. And I have 1 egg in there. I have a 1/4 cup of sugar and 1 tablespoon of flour. Just mix it all up until you see no more lumps. And this is going to become your topping to your pound cake. So that's an 8-ounce brick of cheese softened, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of flour, and 1 large egg. And we're going to dollop this on here easy. And we're going to bake this in the oven at 325, which we have preheating. It's ready. And it usually takes, now our ovens are different. I'll tell you that in each video. They are different, so please just keep an eye on it. Check it with a toothpick for doneness. Just don't overbake it. It usually takes, my oven usually takes about 1 hour and 20 minutes or so, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Just depends. And we're going to spread this out gently and get it into the oven, guys. Middle rack. Check it after 1 hour and 10 minutes. Got my cheese on there. I meant to tell you, don't press real hard as you're putting your cheese on. You want to try to keep that on top of the berry as much as possible, but it is going to seep into the berries, but just don't press too hard. Alrighty, going into the oven. Alright guys, there it is. See how nice that looks with that cream cheese baked up on top of it. Mine baked 1 hour 20 minutes, and do not over bake. That's very important. It's going to come out with a little bit of moisture on it because it's got the berry topping and the blueberries in there. So you're going to get some moisture. But mine cooked for, as I said, and I don't know if I mentioned, this is a 9x5 pan you'll be needing. So we're going to let this cool. And what I do is let it cool and I wrap it up real good with foil. And I'll leave it on the counter. It is cheese on top, but if your house is room temperature and like our house, it's not going to last long. So I just leave it out. But if you're more comfortable putting it in the refrigerator, go ahead. But it does dry up cakes, as we know. So I just leave mine out on the counter. We'll get it iced up. But for now, this has to set for several hours. I let mine set at least 12 hours. And then I'll put some icing on it. So we'll be back to finish that up later, guys. Okay, this is how we're going to flip this out. It's been cooling for 20 minutes. And then just take your knife. This is how I do it. And just kind of go around it and kind of just press it slightly. Press it inwards. Just like that. Kind of press it in without breaking the cake, not real hard. And pray it comes out. We're going to put this on top. And give it a flip. Okay, guys. Let's hope this comes out. Feels like it. Yes! Look how pretty that is. See how nice that came out? Now this is hot still, but I want to flip this back. And these cooling racks, it's kind of neat because the cheese, if you leave it cooling this way, you get little checker marks on your cheese on the other side. So you can either flip it and leave it alone or just leave it like this. But I'm going to flip it back because I don't want my cheese to stick to it. All right. Okay, that's gonna cool now for several hours and I'll get it wrapped up and get some icing on it later and we'll cut it up and so y'all can see it. Alrighty guys, this has been setting now for, I let it set for at least 12 to 13 hours. Wrapped up in some foil on the counter, room temperature. If your home is really warm, do put it in the fridge. But like I said, ours doesn't last long, so that cheese stays good. It's room temperature in here. So here I mixed 1.5 cups of powdered sugar and 3 to 5 tablespoons. It depends on the humidity that's in your powdered sugar and how well you pack that cup. But you can see the consistency that I have. Not real runny. You want it more thick. And I got 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and the 3 to 4 tablespoons of milk. And I'm just going to drizzle this just like this right over this blueberry cake. Just drizzle it. And then we're going to let this harden. Let it not harden, but it gets, you know, a soft set to it. And then we can slice it up. And I like to cut this in individual slices and put them in little sandwich bags because that helps with keeping your pound cake nice and moist. And it's good to take on the go. It's ready and, you know, cut and wrapped for you. But you can use between 1 cup, 1.5 cups of your powdered sugar and just make it a semi-thick consistency with your vanilla. And I would think that's enough. Maybe a little more. And we're going to let this set up and we'll be back to slice it up. Alrighty guys, there it is, the finished blueberry cheese pound cake. See how yummy that looks? It's sliced up so nice. On top here, let me show you. This line that's up here, that's your cheese baked right into that pound cake. Doesn't that look yummy? But I wanted to share it with y'all. Like I said, I like to wrap these individual in some sandwich bags, and your slice of cake will stay moist, and you can put it in the refrigerator and take it for lunch the next day for a nice treat. But I wanted to share it with you guys. Like I said, it's important that you do let it set. As I said, that way all the moisture in the cake has time to absorb the moisture, and it's not so wet, and it just, you get a nice firm pound cake that way. Look how beautiful that cheese is right there. See that cheese line cooked on top of there? Let me zoom this in for you. See, that's the cheese cooked on top of there. But anyway, guys, there it is. I hope you give it a try. Let me know what you think. And as always, please like, subscribe, share, and let me know what you think. And until then, you guys stay safe out there. And God bless. Until we see you next time, you take care. Enjoy the cake.